It is coming up on 11:15. Matt Wentz back with us now. A lot of folks, no doubt, have the AC running these days.
Yeah, they do, I'll tell you. And it's, I know people are thinking dollars when they have it running too. They're like, well, do I do it or not? But this weather, you know, the humidity, Russ, has been low, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. And that's a good thing for keeping our energy costs low, because the humidity really heats things up and it's tough to cool it down.
Yeah, and it's actually very pleasant outside.
It is,
as opposed to what it could be.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just it. And the humidity's going to stay right where it's at over the course of the forecast here. So the one thing we need is a little bit of rain. And we have been now at 11 days straight rainless around Cleveland. Notable May streaks, 25 days in a row back in May 1977. How about that? We had 16 days in a row back in 2001. 1999, 14 days in a row, and then 2021, a couple years ago, we had 13 days in a row. Problem is, this number is going to continue to increase, so we may be getting in the upper tier of those May rainless streaks around here. And one more day tomorrow, we're going to be at 12. Sunshine, we're in the 60s tomorrow morning, 80s by afternoon, very similar to what you experienced today. We've got the cooler numbers out east, Geauga County, down towards Portage County, seeing some of the coolest numbers right now. Dover checking in at 64. Notice how we get progressively warmer as you get west. That's because that's where the humidity is that we were just talking about. Look at these numbers at this hour. AC running full steam in Little Rock, St. Louis, Chicago, all near 80 degrees at this hour. And again, that is product of the humidity that they have that we haven't. And the reason why we don't, we've got high pressure. There's dry air up in Canada, and the flow around the high being clockwise, you can see, yeah, it brings that dry air from Canada in here. But what it does out in the plains is it taps into some of that Gulf of Mexico moisture. What a difference. But it is also a difference in terms of producing rain. We saw numerous thunderstorms develop this afternoon with added humidity on a lake breeze. We have the lake breeze every day. There's just nothing to puff it up in the atmosphere and produce rain. They had the same lake breeze on Lake Michigan today, and with that humidity, they did produce those afternoon showers and thunderstorms that we so typically see. Still an air quality alert. Air still not good for those sensitive to the poor air quality. It's ground level ozone that's high. That air quality alert will be issued a lot of times this summer, but it goes through Friday at this point. Let's take you through tomorrow. National Design Mart hour by hour forecast. Look at the start tomorrow morning. This is what dry air does. Maybe upper 40s in spots. We'll go low 50s area wide, but it's going to be a comfortable start to your Thursday. We'll warm up quickly, should make it well into the 80s, more sunshine. Nothing really to worry about weather-wise. And Friday, more of the same, comfortably cool. We'll warm up in the afternoon. How warm are we thinking? We're thinking upper 80s. Models have been underdoing our highs last couple days, but notice into the weekend, we drop back into the 70s by Sunday, and that's because this ridge that has been so strong over the eastern half of the country starts to retrograde. It moves from east to west. That's backwards, right? So it'll be over us on Friday. That's our peak heat, and then we'll start to back off as we bring a backdoor cold front in here over the weekend. That's air coming out of New England. That, combined with the system down the Gulf that I showed you last night, will produce a decent low off the East Coast, and that will really wrap into cool air. It's going to produce a raw weekend as you get out towards New England. They're expecting rain and 50-degree temperatures from this. Not us. We'll be the recipients of 70-degree temperatures and more sunshine next week. Let's talk rain. Here's our surplus that continues to dwindle. We had so much rain in January and February. It continues to dwindle. We are now below average in the ground in terms of our moisture down in Mansfield, and this is what we're looking at. So here's your streak, 11. We're now up to 12 days, 13. If we don't get rain Saturday, probably won't. We're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We'll be at 18 days in a row without rain around here. That's when it starts to become a problem. So where's our next chance of rain? Here's that East Coast system. There's a little front that's going to squeak through here. It's that backdoor front on Saturday. If we get our dew points up enough, above 60, and get a little humidity, we may squeak out a shower on Saturday in spots. We'll keep our hopes up here for that. Next chance after that would be Monday. Another little frontal boundary comes through. Not much with that. And next chance after that would be Tuesday. A better chance that this pattern breaks the following weekend. You can see it here reflected in your Union Home Mortgage 10-day forecast. We get cooler off of that northeast system next week. Just beautiful next week. And then we're talking upper 80s with maybe some rain chances by June 10th. Russ?
Maybe some rain chances, you say.
In June 10th.
June 10th. All right, Matt. Thanks a lot.